So if you extrapolate a trend, and my slide got a little messed up, but this is theoretical, so I guess maybe it's good. It's a little disjointed. Clayton Christensen, a business professor at the Harvard Business School, has projected, he makes the claim, that by the year 2019, half of all secondary school courses in the United States will in fact be taken online. So whether the figures are exactly right or not exactly right, the trend is clear. This is increasingly important. And I learned at lunch the other day about online middle schools in China, so the United States is certainly not alone or unusual in this. But I'm going to talk a little bit about some of the changes we see at the policy level that have emerged. In 2007, most school districts reported that they make online learning options available for at least some of their students. And there were actually a number of states who have state-funded programs that make high school courses available to any student in the state. So here are 4 states that do that. 24 of 50 states, so about half of the states in the United States, have full-time online cyber schools. So you can take your entire education program online. So if a family wants to have their students schooled at home, or if they live in a remote part of Alaska or somewhere where you can't easily get to a school building, you can take the whole course online. 2 states require students to have an online course, a fully online course, in order to get their high school diploma. And 1 state now requires all of its districts to make an online learning option available for its students. So we're starting to see policies in the states and in the districts giving online learning options. We've started asking districts and people taking online courses what kind of courses they're taking and why, and looking at data from some of the states that have a lot of online learning, like Florida is a good example. Now, traditionally in distance learning, the main reason for offering courses online has been very simple. It's not available in the particular geographic area where you happen to reside. And this continues to be the dominant reason given in the case of online learning. So people in remote areas, for example, or someone who might want to take a very specialized course which doesn't happen to be offered where you are. You want to take Russian and there's not a Russian teacher in the place where you're located. But we're starting to see 2 strong trends emerge, which are interesting in that they're quite different student populations for quite different purposes. And these are very strong in the United States and may be emerging in other countries as well. I apologize, my PowerPoint has a mind of its own. Must have the timer on. One is for students who want to be more advanced and who would like to take college courses in advance of entry into college. And so in the United States, we call these advanced placement courses. And if you get a good score on an examination at the end, you can get credit going into college. We have many students taking online advanced placement courses, and it permits more students to do this because of the online option. So these tend to be high-achieving students, highly motivated students, students who are planning to go to college. That's one large group. But there's another large group that has also emerged, and these are students who need a second chance or even a third chance. In the United States, unfortunately, I am very sad to say, almost a quarter of the students who start secondary school do not finish a program with a diploma. For one reason or another, things are happening in their lives. They stop attending school, their attendance becomes bad. Maybe they feel they have to work for some reason, they get involved in gang activities, young women may become pregnant, a variety of different reasons they do not finish their program. And many students who have gone through something like this, they are needing another way to reconnect with the education system. And online learning is being used in what are called credit recovery programs, where students can come back to the school system, take courses online, and they may do it in the school building with an adult who is trying to help them plan their program and reconnect with education. But a lot of the instruction occurs online and at their own pace. And this is an increasingly common use of online learning in the United States. Now, these are students who have struggled in the past, and many of them have issues with their basic literacy and numeracy skills. So it's really a very different population from that advanced placement population. And we really are seeing in secondary school the two different sides of the distribution, if you will. Now I want to talk a little bit, just introduce some terms about different features of online learning courses. I'm largely talking about courses here to try to give you a sense of the way in which they might be categorized as a preparation for talking about some of the research. The first obvious distinction is whether the course is fully online, so you're taking it totally over the web, or it's a combination of online and face-to-face course activities, which are often called either hybrid or blended courses. So both are very common, very popular. We also make a distinction whether we're talking about something that is an activity or a module within a course, so that would mean it was a blended course, or a supplemental formal course, so you're taking the advanced placement calculus in your degree program, but normally you take most of your classes in a school, or an entire degree program. You're going to a cyber school and you're getting your whole diploma online. So we make those distinctions. We also look at whether it's, and I don't have a very good term for this in English. I'm not sure how it will come over in Putonghua either. It's scheduled course, what we call class-linked versus self-paced. And this is an important distinction. So in the scheduled course, even if the activities are entirely online, there are a group of learners or a learner and an instructor doing it together, and there's a certain course schedule. So you are expected to do certain things at least by the end of this week. You'll finish this activity. By the end of the next week, you'll finish that activity. And there's less flexibility for students, but it also means you can have more interaction because you have multiple people engaged in the same activity at the same time. You can interact with people, not just the courseware. The other kind of online learning is entirely self-paced. So you can decide how fast or how slow you do it. You have complete control over your pacing. And then finally, there's whether it's instructor developed. In many cases, we have university or secondary school instructors who are taking things that they teach and figuring out how to teach those online. In cases where they're lucky, they have some technical support to do that, versus professionally developed. We also have organizations and companies that do this for a living, develop online materials. Okay, here's some of the instructional design elements that people believe are important. One is the communication type. So the first thing is something I already alluded to. Are you communicating with people, either other students or the instructor, or just with the courseware? And if you are communicating with people, is that synchronous or asynchronous? In distance learning, this used to be a distinction that was very prominent in the literature, and things were either tended to be synchronous, like video conferencing, or asynchronous, that is, the message is sent at one time and then received at another time, so that could be like a message board or something.